Now, for those of you who can cope with videos which are a bit longer than 3 minutes, here's a bit more explanation as to Max Verstappen's infringement at Monaco 2025. Now, corrupt stewards Gary Connolly and Derek Warwick, two of the corrupt three from Abu Dhabi 2021. Felix Holter was the third of those. But Connolly and Warwick will tell you this: compliance with yellow flag rules is paramount for the safety of all parties, and this requirement is clearly noted in the first item of race directors' event notes at every event. And obviously what we do know as fans of the show is actually out of all of the drivers that compete, Max Verstappen is the one. He's the student. He's actually the professor. He is the one that understands those rules and regulations better than everybody else. I mean, as we know here, because Verstappen explains why he called foul on Norris at the Qatar Grand Prix. It was a mistake by Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen saw it straight away, because this is Super Max. Hurrah for Super Max. Max Verstappen has explained it was his check call to Red Bull that led to Lando Norris falling foul of the regulations and landing a heavy penalty during the Qatar Grand Prix. Norris was hammered with a 10-second stop-go penalty, the harshest penalty short of being disqualified from that race. Deprives you of probably 30 seconds of race time. Norris was hammered with a 10-second stop-go penalty for failing to slow under double-waved yellow flags. Although the decision to penalise the McLaren driver was correct, there was a feeling that the punishment did not fit the crime. The FIA later explained that the penalty was in accordance with the penalty guidelines circulated to the teams on the 19th of February this year, and that a double yellow flag infringement is considered a serious compromise of safety, which is why such offences carry such a severe penalty. Norris, who had been challenging Verstappen for the victory at the time, dropped to the back of the pack after serving the penalty. The McLaren driver recovered to finish 10th, whilst also collecting a point for the fastest lap. The failure to finish as the runner-up, or even the race winner, cost McLaren a significant number of points in its battle with Ferrari for the Constructors' Championship, with just 21 points separating the teams. As to calling foul on Norris, speaking to Viaplay, Verstappen said, "I got there and suddenly saw a double yellow flag. Incredibly, Max was able to see it in Qatar. I lifted, and Lando, of course, had a DRS, but he could even see Lando's DRS. Super Max can see everything, apart from the double wave yellow in Monaco. Two of them. He was approaching very fast. That's why I asked the team if they could check if he had lifted. Of course, it's clear that you have to lift at double yellow. Of course it is, Max. Absolutely right, Maxwell. Otherwise, you get a heavy penalty, which he eventually got. Absolutely, he eventually got it, didn't he, Maxwell? After the safety car had pulled away, Verstappen had to fend off Norris, who had pulled alongside. Verstappen, though, still managed to gain the upper hand on his rival. So, that was that one. Coming back here, this is how the FIA deal with this. 10-second stop-go penalty. 3 penalty points on your super licence for Lando Norris. 3 penalty points on your super licence for failing to slow for double wave yellow flags. Go back and review Qatar 2024. Let's have a look at the other documents. Nico Hulkenberg. Oh no, actually no. Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's last year's Monaco Grand Prix, where there was no further action taken against somebody alleged to unnecessarily impede a car in qualifying. It mustn't be that one. Sorry, wrong document. What's this one? 2024 Monaco Grand Prix. That's another time where somebody was alleged to unnecessarily impede a car and there was no further action taken. Sorry, I'm getting the wrong documents here. Silly me. 2025 Miami this year. Move on already. That was history. Car 10 failed to slow for a waved yellow flag. Just a yellow flag, not double wave. Double waved is serious. Car 10 failed to slow for a wave yellow flag. He got a warning, okay, but the stewards recognised that there was an offence. The stewards heard from the driver of car 10, Pierre Gasly, the team representative, and reviewed positioning, marshalling system data, video timing, telemetry, team radio, and in-car video evidence. Did you go through that process when reviewing Supermax at Monaco 2025, the stewards? No! The driver did not slow down for the yellow flag and admitted in the hearing that he neither saw a yellow flag nor any stopped car. However, looking at the footage available, it is evident that the yellow flag was only shown from one marshal post and was shown against a yellow background in a very quick part of the track. In addition to that, there was no light panel in place at that point, and therefore neither the team nor the driver got any visual or audible warning. The car causing the yellow flag also was not visible from the driver's perspective, as it was hidden behind an exit. The stewards consider all this as a unique scenario, and taking all these mitigating circumstances into account, issue a warning to the driver. So it was only because of all of those mitigating circumstances, all of those excuses which actually can be considered to be valid excuses, perfectly reasonable reasoning as to why the driver missed that signal, missed that notification, that then he did not receive a punishment. But they still noted it as being an infringement, and were it not for those mitigating circumstances, which were entirely valid, Gasly would have received a penalty. The next one, Carlos Sainz, Miami 2025 this year, also failed to slow for a waved yellow flag. Breach of that article of the International Sporting Code. He also got the warning. It was the same set of circumstances. The yellow flag was being waved against a yellow background, and he had no indication other than that. Okay, he stated he lifted his throttle after being informed of a yellow flag by the team, this being slightly after passing the yellow flag zone. This was confirmed by telemetry, but it was noted by the stewards. Nothing is noted by FIA race control for Max Verstappen at Monaco 2025. We can go to Appendix H of the FIA International Sporting Code. Signals used at the marshal posts: red flag, yellow flag. So B. This is a signal of danger and should be shown to drivers in two ways with the following meanings. Single waved: reduce your speed, do not overtake, and be prepared to change direction. There is a hazard beside or partly on the track. It must be evident that a driver has reduced speed. This means a driver is expected to have braked earlier and or noticeably reduced speed in that sector. Double waved, which is what it was at Monaco. Reduce your speed significantly. Do not overtake and be prepared to change direction or stop. Did Max look as though he was being prepared to stop? Not at all. He was looking to challenge Oscar Piastri. He was looking to take advantage of that situation to close the gap and pounce as soon as racing resumed. That is not taking appropriate action under double wave yellow flags. There is a hazard wholly or partly blocking the track and or marshals working on or beside the track. During free practice or qualifying, it must be evident that a driver has not attempted to set a meaningful lap time. Okay, so double waved yellows means there's a hazard on the track or there could be marshals on the track. Let's review the way that Max Verstappen was driving through there. He's got the signal of double waved yellow flags, which means that either the track is blocked or partially blocked, or the marshals could be on there. And let's look at Max's driving and see if Max is driving appropriately for that eventuality. Oh, just come to another tab. Oh, too many tabs already. At no time may a car be driven unnecessarily slowly, erratically, or in a manner which could be deemed potentially dangerous to other drivers or any other person. Oh, that's Lawson and the two Williams drivers. That's for another video, kids. That's another infringement the FIA overlook. What's this one? Code of driving conduct on off-road circuits. The instructions detailed in Appendix H, which we've looked at, are deemed part of this code as of driving conduct. All drivers must abide by them. Overtaking, car control and track limits. We come down to where we got signals. Drivers must use the track at all times. Oh, it's not permitted to drive any car unnecessarily slowly, erratically, or in a manner deemed potentially dangerous to other drivers at any time. If there is a joker lap, the driver must enter or leave the joker lap. What's a joker lap? We'll have to review the joker lap at some point. Is this one of the clever cards that Red Bull has introduced since involvement in Formula One? The joker lap! So it's time to look back at young Maxwell Verstappen committing an infringement. So let's have a look. This is how far Max is behind. At least 3 car lengths behind Oscar Piastri coming down to the chicane. Yellow flags, double waved yellow flags are being waved. This is where it picks up here. I don't know if there's any further indication of this before this incident. I do not know. I've not got Max's onboards, which could be picking any further notifications up. This is what is presented to us by the sport. So heading down towards the first part of the chicane, on that corner, double wave yellow flags. That means slow down significantly. There could be the track partially or fully blocked. There could be marshals on the track. What does Max do? Gaining, 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 gaining. Yellow flags, yellow flags, yellow flags. Gaining. Is that significantly slowing? Relative to Oscar, it's not. Look at how far he is behind Oscar now. He's just passing the yellow flags. Why is he gaining on Oscar still? Yellow flags. You see, Max could identify in his rear view mirror that Lando wasn't lifting and that Lando's got his DRS flap. Focus on what's in front of you, Max, please. Yellow flags. Debris on the track. Look how close we get to that. Could have been marshals there, Max. Could have been marshals. That's what double yellow flags could indicate. There could be marshals on the track. And what are you doing, Max? Immediately where the debris is, you move straight over to the left. Gaining, 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 gaining. Oh, and now Max is the victim. We still haven't reached the green light board, Max. Now you're the victim getting on the radio, projecting that Oscar's doing something wrong. So this is how Max then projects about it.
But he would have taken my front wing off. He didn't leave space. What is that? He would have crashed. Wait, I had the right to be there.
Yeah.
That's it again. That's it again, mate.
Okay.
I'd like to see it again. We caught.
Yeah. Yes, says Brundle. The victim is Verstappen. Let's just actually slow that down. Let's just try and make sure we pick out everything that Verstappen actually says there. Let's just slow it down a little bit. Half speed. Might be horrible, but we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, absolutely. And say nearly caught him. Well, I wouldn't say napping, but
But he would have taken my front wing off. He didn't leave space. What is that? He would have crashed. Wait, I had the right to be there.
Entitlement. He had the right to be there.
yeah.
That's it again. That's it again, mate.
I actually can't pick out what he says. Something again, something again. I don't know why I can't pick that out, but I can't.
Okay.
I'd like to see it again. We caught, I think, the tail ends of what was going on. Ted, let's head down to you.
And then is that the drama in the pits, Ted, with the Pierre Gasly incident, and all the drama there? How dangerous it is? Maybe not. Who knows? They could have showed us. They didn't. Check out the other videos for that. This is that incident again, I believe. Is this the incident?
It was all a bit touch and go.
It was all a bit touch and go there, Martin. Let's have a listen to what Martin wants to say.
In there, let's have a look. There's your double yellow.
Absolutely right, Martin.
So we can't overtake.
It's not that you just can't overtake, Crofty, okay? You need to... it's not just not being allowed to overtake. It's you've got to slow significantly, okay? Because Lando didn't overtake, okay? Let's get to the part where... One of these, isn't it? One of these. Double wave yellow. Reduce your speed significantly. Do not overtake. And be prepared to change direction or stop. There is a hazard wholly or partly blocking the track and or marshals working on or beside the track. So, yeah, it's important really that, as they will tell you here at RN 365, where Max saw it straight away. He was hammered with a 10-second stop-go penalty, okay? The FIA explaining that the penalty was in accordance with the penalty guidelines because a double yellow flag infringement is considered a serious compromise of safety, which is why such offences carry such a severe penalty. So please inform the watching audience of the magnitude of that infringement, please, Crofty.
Got to slow down. And there you can't go again till you pass the green flag.
Absolutely right, Martin. Can you tell everybody about the amount of distance that Max has gained? The amount of time that Max has gained through that section?
And they hadn't got to the green flag.
Correct.
So I don't think Piastri will be in any trouble for that one.
I love the way you frame it there, Martin. I don't think Oscar will be in any trouble. Can you inform anybody about any infringement that Max might be making there, Martin? No, that's not what you're paid to do, is it, Martin? You're paid to boost, fluff, and validate Max Verstappen. Yeah, you're paid to suck Max's plums, aren't you? Anyway, that will do on this video. Thank you all for your time. I'm off now to make some more videos and make some about what Lawson and the two William cars were guilty of, which rules they choose to apply and which they don't, which drivers they choose to penalise and which they don't. But before that, I might go and have a cup of tea. Let that percolate, everybody. See you next time.